Welcome back to Sow, Grow and Cook. It's October and let's see what we're harvesting on the small holding. So first we're in the winter squash patch. I planted these plants up at the end of May or possibly the first week in June. I've got several varieties of squash here and I really don't know where to begin. It's been such a weird season because we had a very cool, dry spring, pretty chilly actually. And then we hit June, and June was like really hot, but very dry. And then we came to July, which is normally our very warm season, and we had a lot of rain there. So things grew, but I just don't know how well they're going to cure because we've not had enough dry weather in July and August. Okay, so here we go. I've got a lot of little varieties and I'm just going to put them in a pile here. I haven't really counted them. I think there are more than 20, but I'm not entirely sure. Well, look, it's a little mini pumpkin. So I'm cutting the stems. We're expected a frost in the next day or two. And with all the wet weather we've had, I don't want rot to set in. So I'm going to just cut my losses, so to speak, and put whatever I've got here into the polytunnel to cure and use them over the winter. Now, lots of these are quite small, but I did pick some of the bigger ones last night, and they're in the polytunnel already. So, of all the varieties of the winter squash I've planted, the baked potato squash seems to be the most prolific. So, the baked potato squash are these pale pinky white ones on the surface of the pile. So, in total, I got 46 squash, and about four or five of them are quite big ones, good solid ones. And I'm looking forward to trying those. As you can see, the rest are a real mixture of uchiki curry and some acorn squashes, the baked potato squash. And now back to the polytunnel to pick some of the last tomatoes on the vine. So pick all the good ones, but anything that's split, I'll save and feed to the chickens because they're not fussy if there's overripe ones or split ones. Oh, there's another split one there. These rather prolific Ukrainian purple tomatoes are really, really good. They seem to crop well into the autumn. This week we've also been harvesting the last of our drying beans in the polytunnel. We waited for a very rainy day where it was too wet to do anything outside, and instead we came in and we picked the last of the borlotti and the other drying beans, and we cleared out the bamboo canes and the foliage. Here's some tiger beans that we have been drying. And aren't they pretty? They're flat and they're very smooth and they've got little stripes on them. And here we've got something called tunny beans. Now they're a small, round, pink and white bean, and they grow, they're a climbing bean, and they're also good for soups and stews. I've put them in the trays here to further dry before I put them in jars. I've got a small amount of Madeira maroon, which I've never grown before. They're really nice, but not all the plants germinated when I put them in the polytunnel, so I had fewer of them. And finally, we've got quite a few borlotti beans, which are something I grow every year. And I save the seeds and replant some of them in the following year. They always do really well. We also grew a different variety of popping corn called strawberry popcorn. I guess they call it that because it's small and red, sort of, and looks very vaguely like a strawberry. I guess it does, sort of. Beautiful, beautiful little cobs. Now, I picked those when the cobs were dry, and they were growing in my polytunnel as well, and I'm drying them further indoors before I start removing the kernels from the cobs, because they'll only pop when the moisture level is at a certain percentage. I think it's about 20%. Now, here's some that I removed from a couple of cobs, but they were a little bit hard to remove, so I suspect they weren't quite ready yet. So, what are you all harvesting in your gardens where you are? Let me know in the comments section below. And if you're from the Southern Hemisphere, what are you planting right now? Because of course it's spring where you live. Once again, thank you for watching Sow, Grow and Cook, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.